Hey there, welcome back to moneygal.ca. This week we're going to simplify your cash flow management. So remember in the first and second Excel videos I put out, we made this budget together. And then in the third and fourth videos, we connected them to this cash flow management system. So now I'm going to show you how to simplify this because you actually don't need to track all of these categories daily. Basically what I do is I create a category called already spent. And I encompass all of these regular bills, the types of expenses that you just can't avoid throughout the year, the things that pretty much stay the same month in and month out, and I consider those already spent. And then basically on a daily basis, what I need to track the rest of the month is just the variable expenses, the ones I'm actually making choices about and that I have a direct effect on. So basically, to start, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that all the categories that we want to encompass in that already spent category are together at the top of the budget. So if ever one of them is hovering somewhere where you don't want it and you want to move it up, it's very simple to move. You simply click and drag to select all the cells for that budget. Then you right click and cut, and then go to where you actually want to insert it. Click, right click, and say insert cut cells, and you'll see that the category is moved up. None of the formulas here are affected. If I click here, you can see that all the cells I wanted it adding up in this cell are still adding up. All right, click enter to get out of there. All right, so once you have all of the categories that you wanted to include in the already spent category together, then what you want to do is just add a line where you can sum them up. So in this case, I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to incorporate hydro and heat in that already spent category, because when I make my budget, I take the amount I spent last year and I pad it by anywhere from $100 to $300 for the year, just to make sure that because I'm incorporating it in this already spent category, I'm just making sure that there's enough money there that each pay period it's accumulating, and I know that when I pay the bill, the money will be there. So basically, I'm going to insert an empty row of cells here between heat and gas. So I'm going to select these three cells by clicking and dragging. I'm going to right click and say insert, and then select shift cells down and say OK. And now I have empty cells here. So what I can do is I can add an underline, a bottom border, and I'm also going to click here on this arrow to get the other borders I can add, and I'm going to add a top border so that this line really stands out to me. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this cell here, and I want to sum all these amounts in that cell. So I'm going to click on auto sum. I'm going to choose all the cells I want to sum by clicking and dragging, and then push enter. And then I'm going to do the same in this cell here, auto sum. It has automatically selected the right cells for me, and then I'm just going to click enter to get out of there. All right, so now, and the category here, we're going to call it already spent. Okay, so now that is all we need to do on this tab. Okay, we fixed our budget. Oh, actually, that's not true. I just noticed that, whoops, I just put myself $22,000 in deficit for the year. I just need to adjust this here, because if you see, I'm now accounting, because this cell is a sum of all these cells, because I'm summing all of these, I'm actually double counting those. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click. You see how my cursor changes here to this arrow? And I'm just going to click down so that I'm no longer double counting. I'm just starting my sum from the already spent category down, and push enter. I should need to do the same here. So there we go. I dragged it down, enter. Okay, now my budget's back in whack. All right, so now we're going to go to the tab where we do our tracking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change. I don't want to see these categories anymore. So what I want to do is I'm going to change that. I'm going to highlight this part of my formula and go back into my budget tab and just click on this already spent amount. So you can see up in my formula that now I'm bringing over the information. Oh, actually, it's the name I want to bring. So now I'm bringing over the information. I'm bringing the already spent category. When I push enter, it's going to bring me back to this cash flow management tab, and you can see that now I have the already spent category at the top. In order to bring the rest down, I'm just going to click on the corner here. You see how my cursor changes to a plus sign? I'm going to click and drag down, and you'll see that now it brings over all the categories. And I'm basically going to do the same here. I just want to change it so the numbers are good. Instead of F2, remember now we're going to start at F9. So I'm going to just click inside my formula, change the 2 to a 9 and push enter. And then again, I'm going to click and drag that down to bring all the right amounts. Alright, so now you can see in this category that I've successfully bringing over the information from cell F10 in our budget category and so on. Alright, and then as I'm tracking every week, basically the first thing that's going to happen, I'm just going to unhide these cells. I'm going to right click, unhide, so I can temporarily see per paycheck. I can now see, oh, I do need to bring this category over. So it's actually, I want to bring over what's in G9. There we go, that makes more sense. And drag these amounts down. There we go, okay. I can now rehide these cells by highlighting them, right click, hide, okay. And every week, basically the first thing I'm going to do when I get a paycheck is I'm going to enter the paycheck here, as we saw in my other videos, but I'm also going to automatically enter the amount, just copy that amount over. So every week the first thing that happens is I spend that $875 because it's already spent, and now I can just track these variable amounts on a daily basis, make sure I'm staying within budget, and go back to my system. And again, you can see that now, next pay period, that $875 is now budgeted, and the first thing I'm going to do next pay period is spend it again just by entering that one number. So as I pay the mortgage and so on, I don't need to come back and enter them separately. It's understood that I've already spent all that money. If you have any questions, send me an email. Please visit my website, moneygal.ca. Thanks.